Sorry guys, no layout today in this awesome UU versus Codec HD, I believe. I do have a video with a layout, but it was against Vanillix Frost, and like all my videos have been against him. Pretty crazy, I know. So I figured a change of pace would be nice. This is a different UU team. I'm gonna lead off with Flygon, because Scarf Flygon hit outspeeds a lot of stuff. So he goes into this Hippowdon. Unfortunately, weather has made its way into UU. I'm going to U-turn out, get the advantage, and go into my Tangrowth to try to put this thing to sleep, because it wants to go to sleep. Its names go to sleep. Yeah, though I'm pretty upset that they put all these Whimsicott type Pokemon in UU. You know? Stall doesn't belong here. Go away, Cresselia. I'm going to Sleep Powder to try to fulfill his wishes. Though the Sandstorm won't hurt me too much, it lowers the survivability of Tangrowth a little, but it's mostly just going to slow down this narration. So I Leech Seed, just trying to get some residual damage on him, and he gets a first turn wake up and yawns me. Now normally with my Tangrowth, I want to stay in and take some damage just to abuse Regenerator, but I am not going to want to stay in. So I'm going to assume if he yawns again, I can U-turn out with Flygon. Or if he EQs, I'll be immune. So I'm going to go back into my Scarf Flygon. And he slacks off. Probably predicting the Power Whip is the most likely assumption. I'm going to go ahead and fire off that U-turn once again, because switch advantage, keep my momentum going. He goes into Suicune. My U-turn is not going to do too much, so it's probably going to be Crocoon, but it's cool because I'm going to get switch advantage. And that's really what I care about. So I'm going to go back into Tangrowth, just trying to keep my team on wraps. Despite team preview, he doesn't know what's special, what's physical, what's what. And I have the type advantage. An Ice Beam, if he has it, won't do too much to me. And he has nothing to sleep again, so I'm just going to go for that Sleep Powder once again. And welcome back, go to sleep. I'm going to put his Hippowdon back to sleep. Unfortunately, if this thing ever dies, I don't remember if it does, the Sandstorm remains here. And that's the real flaw with Pokemon is, this thing's summoning a Sandstorm. When it dies, there's nothing ensuring the Sandstorm remains. I go with the same trick twice, which is pretty stupid. He predicts that and goes into Sawsbuck, who's really OU material, if you ask me. But it's just been falling in ranks. It might be RU now, maybe NU. So he's going to Sword Dance. I really see no reason to switch out. I can't hurt this thing much, but he's setting up. He's at +3. I'm thinking Earthquake, Sandstorm, possibly Life Orb, you don't know. They'll do a hefty chunk and probably actually be able to take this dangerous threat out. And then I could, worst case, U-turn with Flygon. So that +3 return does way too much damage for comfort. And I'm not going to want to send something in to die. But fortunately, he is that Life Orb variant. So the recoil from all these after-turn effects is really getting down on him. I'm going to lose my physical wall. It's okay. I can speed up the game this way. So I'm just going to go back to my Scarf Flygon, finish this thing off, or get switch advantage as he tries to save it. He opts to just stay in, so that'll even out the score a bit. No real need for a physical wall anymore because I took out his physical sweeper. I'm going to go into Jolteon because I'm Specs. So I can always Volt Change something or possibly Hidden Power Ice if he brings in a ground type and Gabite comes out. I know it has Sandveil, but I just want to go for that. Hidden Power Ice. I was really convinced he was trying to bait me, but I just wanted to make the safe play and go for that ×4 super effective Choice Specs Hidden Power and completely wreck him. So he goes into Hindaruma. I know the Flare Blitz is coming, and Flygon should be able to take it. It's resisted. Flygon's pretty bulky, but base 140 attack. He one-shots me a not very effective hit, and that is crazy. And the recoil actually doesn't do that much because Darmanitan has a very high HP stat. I'm going to go into Mew. I really haven't actually had to use this Pokemon much in this UU team. I'm just going to pray that a Life Orb Psychic is going to be enough to take it out. Because I don't believe in wall Mews. Mew just has too much potential. It can do almost anything. He's going to go into his Suicune. I could have tried to set up here with the nasty plot, but I wanted to play it safe and go into my special wall, Empoleon, because he could also set up the rocks. He just goes for the Scald. That's going to do nothing, but unfortunately, he does get the first turn burn, and that's pretty unlucky, but hacks is hacks, you know. So that burn is going to whittle me down a lot, but fortunately his Suicune doesn't gain health every turn because of the sandstorm, but it's also forcing me to ramble on a lot. So he's going to just keep boiling water, I guess scouting, predicting that I might have Roar and I'm trying to phase him out. I'm going to take this opportunity to set up my rocks. I know they're kind of late game rocks, but why not, really? This thing's pretty crippled, my Pokemon, so might as well set up rocks. So now he's going to calm mine, thinking I can't do anything. I figured he'd probably set up, but I wanted to go with a Scald of my own to try to possibly fish for that burn. Residual damage is very nice on this thing, but unfortunately, unlike him, I don't get it. It's alright. I'm just going to phase him out now because he's becoming a bigger threat. So really by this point it's pretty clear a lot of my teams run bulky waters with Roar, an electric type that has the Volt Change and Hidden Power Ice, and then some sort of Scarfer. It just keeps coming down to that. So Empoleon's going to roar him out, and I was thinking I could Roar again and abuse the whole sleep thing, maybe catch him on a switch, because sleep turns reset, but I instead decided to go for that Stab, super effective Scald. And this thing must be a physically bulky variant because that does a heck of a lot. Luckily, he does not get the first turn wake, though. So that means I will easily be able to just finish him off because this thing's dead weight at this point. He has no real need for sleep fodder. Now that Tangro's taken out, I find there is no way Sawsbuck is RU. I see it all the time, and it walls Tangrowth to death. Sawsbuck is around in literally every match, and yet it's this super, super low tier. I don't know what's going on. Smogon's, I swear, it's just making up stuff at this point. So he's going to go back into Suicune. I guess he really had no other options. I'm just going to Roar him because he also has an Entei. And a Stealth Rock plus Sandstorm. I want to whittle this thing down as much as possible so Arcanine can clean up house, because I'm not looking forward to Entei's extreme speed on Mew. I know Mew's pretty bulky, but I am the Life Orb variant, so I am not that defensive. But all around 100 defenses is pretty good. I'm going to predict the fire move, go into my Arcanine. Unfortunately, Stealth Rocks are still in play. This team doesn't have Donphan for a spinner. Donphan is the best physical wall, because Ferrothorn is Ferrothorn. He's going to switch out now. Fearing the extreme speed, I was very tempted to Wild Charge, but I figured I'm Life Orb. Between extreme speed, they'll whittle him down enough. They'll Wild Charge if he goes into Suicune. Should be able to take him out. He does go into Suicune. That's great. I'm really not sure if a Wild Charge can take him out at this point, and that'd be awful if he just rested up. But I decide if he rests up and this doesn't work out, I'll just have Nasty Pots with Mew. Luckily, though, the Wild Charge is enough to take him out, although there's recoil from that, Life Orb, and Sandstorm, so I'm so whittled down I can't switch or do anything besides extreme speed to get some sort of damage on this thing. Another Stealth Rock damage hit will do a quarter of Entei's health. I'm going to extreme speed. It barely doesn't kill it. It's alright. He'll finish me off, but he's at 8th health, so the Sandstorm will finish him off. Great game.